Okay, we are in step 2, and that is to set up your Amazon Seller Central account. Now, the Seller Central account, that is really your interface between you and Amazon. You're going to see all of your inventory on there. You're going to see your orders, your revenue, any type of account settings you want to adjust, your FBA inventory, how to create shipments to Amazon, and so much more. So this is the platform we'll be creating an account for. That way you can interface with Amazon and your seller account. So before we get started, we do, I just want to run over a few things that I want you to have on hand before you watch my demonstration on how to create a new Seller Central account. You will need some type of ID, whether that's a driver's license or an ID card. Make sure you have that on hand, and it should be for you, whoever the main owner is of your company. Next is a valid credit card for any charges. At the end of your billing cycle, if you have a negative balance based on ad spend or storage fees, or you don't make any sales, you may have a negative balance that you need to pay Amazon. With that being said, we also have a bank account here for any deposits. That is the money that you generate. This can be a personal or business bank account. I do recommend setting up a business bank account just to separate your finances from your personal situation and your business situation. So I would use a business bank account here. Next, you need a verifiable address, business information such as your LLC name, your IRS EIN, which you should have by now, and then a phone number and an email address. That is all you need in order to create your Seller Central account. So once you have all that information out in front of you, we can move on to actually setting up your Seller Central account. So one of the biggest mistakes that Amazon beginner sellers tend to make is they'll just type in Amazon Seller Central. They'll find Amazon Seller Central here, and then they'll click sign up. Now there's a reason why there's an asterisk here, and you can't, you don't really see anything anywhere, but if you scroll down to the bottom, a professional selling account is $39.99 per month plus additional selling fees, which is your FBA fee, referral fee, which we'll get into. Now, the reason why I say they make a mistake is because they are not aware that there's an individual selling plan and a professional selling plan. If you click sign up here, you will end up already opted into that $39.99 a month plan, which is not the most beneficial plan for you at this stage. We'll eventually upgrade to this membership, but we'll want to start out with the individual plan so you don't have to pay anything to Amazon when you're waiting that 90 days to actually get your inventory to Amazon. So we'll go back to the slide here, and you want to enter this URL into your browser. That way we can access the individual plan. It's sell.amazon.com/pricing. And this just takes you to a different webpage which covers all of the selling plan and the fees, and it also gives you the option to sign up as this individual plan. Now, the reason why we want to sign up as the individual plan is you only pay this 99 cents when you sell an item. So every unit that you sell, they take 99 cents off plus additional fees, which we'll talk about later, versus just paying Amazon a fixed rate of about $40 per month. So we want to scroll down to this column and click sign up for individual. This will save you $40. Okay, so this is the start of creating your Seller Central account. It's very important that you either create a new Amazon account or you use your existing Amazon account. Now, when I first got started, I used my personal Amazon account that I used to order products from. You can go ahead and do that. There's no issue in doing that. These are two separate entities that may use that same Amazon account. For this scenario, let's say you don't have an Amazon account, so we'll click create your Amazon account. At this point, you want to type in your name, your email, and enter a strong password, and then re-enter it and click next. All right, the next step here is to check the email that you entered and then type in that one-time passcode. So for me, 283748, click create your Amazon account. All right, the second one is, remember I said you have to have some type of cell phone mobile number. Type in your cell phone number here, and then you'll also receive a one-time passcode for your two-step verification, which is just an additional security method when you sign into your Seller Central account or your Amazon account that you are the one signing in based off of your phone number. So type that in and click send OTP. Okay, so now we are into the Seller Central system, and we are going to begin creating our account now that we created our Amazon account. I know there's two different things and a little confusing, but Amazon's going to tell you at this point what you'll need, which is already the things that I listed out. This is your government ID, your bank account information, which also includes some type of statement just to prove that that is your account. And then you'll need your credit card or debit card and a mobile phone number. And then before we click begin here, I just want to take you quickly through what the verifying process entails. So this has changed and also depend on the information that you submit. So what we're going to do here is we are going to submit all this information to create our account. And at that point, Amazon's going to determine if you need to speak to an Amazon associate and perform an interview with them just to show your ID to them and say, this is me, and some other information. It's not a difficult process. Otherwise, if you provide enough information, Amazon deems it automatically approved, they'll go ahead and they'll send you an email and say, you're good to go. There's no necessary steps. Now, back in the day when I got started, Amazon would also send you a postcard into the mail to verify your address. And they would there would be a one-time code on that postcard that you'd receive in the mail, and then you would type in just to verify that address. I don't believe they do that anymore, but if there are any issues between your ID address and the address you put in here, any differences, they may still do that. I'm not entirely sure. So once you're verified and you can log into Seller Central, that's when we can actually begin starting to sell on Amazon. All right, for the first section here is our business information. If you have a business, select the country here. If you don't have a business and you're doing the sole proprietorship, enter your country of residence. So in both options, this would be United States for us, and it's going to ask us an entity type. Click this, and there should be two types that you take a look at. If you have an LLC and you own it, you will select the privately owned business. Otherwise, if you're a sole proprietor, select none. I am an individual. Okay, so we'll enter our business name here that we registered through our Wyoming application in this course. That was the Perfect Equipment LLC, and confirm that. Just keep in mind, once you click agree and continue, there's no change in this. So make sure that this is spelled correctly. Click agree and continue, and then we'll let this load. Okay, so we have our 5 steps here. The first step is business information. We're just adding some more information. Your LLC should be here. So just make sure that everything's correct with that. The next is your company registration number. This is not your IRS EIN, which we'll enter later on. This is your filing number or your registration number that the state you register your LLC in sent you. So for example, I'll bring up mine from Texas here. This is what my certificate of filing looked like for my LLC that I registered a long time ago in Texas. If you look right here where it says filing number, there is a 9-digit number after that I would type in for this company registration number. This will be on your formal certificate that you receive through email from your state or through mail once your business has been officially registered in that state. So if you don't have this yet, you will unfortunately have to wait another week or so until you receive this, and then you can come back here and you can enter that information. Now, if you are a sole proprietor, you would type in probably your social security number and just confirm your name here. That way you can move on to the next section. So we'll type in our company registration number. We will also enter that registered business address in Wyoming, and then just double check that your phone number is correct and click next. Okay, section 1 is done. Now we are on to our primary contact information, our seller information. This will be all of your personal details that you'll enter in here, such as your name, your country of citizenship, your birthday, and your residential address. And then we'll move on down below. Now, after you enter in some of this information, it will ask you for identity proof. Again, this is some type of ID. If you have your driver's license, your passport, those are the recommended copies. If you are a citizen of a different country or you're born in a different country, they may ask you for some different information here. So we'll type in driver's license, United States, and then it should ask you for your driver's license ID or your passport ID. So type that in here, and then also the date of expiration. Okay, that section's done. I just collapsed it there. The next section is to confirm if the primary contact person is a legal representative or the beneficial owner. We are the beneficial owner since we're doing this ourselves. And then we'll move down to the third section. Primary contact person is the only beneficial owner of the business. Again, if you have different partners, you want to put no here. If you are the only contact person and owner, beneficial owner of the business, click yes. All right, and then click I confirm. After that, select next, and that will take us to the billing section, which will enter our credit card information and our bank account information, as well as we'll also upload a bank statement. All right, after I click next, it asked me bank account verification pending. If you have an instant verification bank, you may be able just to skip this step, but more than likely, Amazon's going to ask you to click continue, and then you can proceed to uploading your bank account information as well as a statement. So we'll click continue. All right, the next step and the final step that I'll share with you here is the credit card information. So make sure that this is a valid credit card number, and also the expiration date is in the future. It's not in the past. This has to be valid. This is for the monthly subscription fee that you'll pay in the future when we upgrade to the professional selling plan. In addition, it's for any negative account balances. And I think Amazon also uses this for some other identity verification. So just make sure, ideally, that this cardholder name is in your LLC name or your personal name, just to expedite things. So type that information in, confirm your billing address, and click Next. So after you type in that information, you should be brought to the Store tab. The Store tab is where you enter your store name. I recommend adding a store name that either relates to your brand or your business. It does not have to be the same thing. It could be completely different, but it's usually easiest just to relate it to your LLC name. That way you know the store name also relates to your business name. And ultimately, the brand name will come, so don't worry about that yet. It doesn't matter if your store name matches or does not match your brand name. After doing that, you'll go through the verification tab, and at that point, you either enter more information about your bank account statement. You may schedule an interview with an Amazon associate, but I feel comfortable enough that you can complete those on your own. Unfortunately, I've already created the maximum number of Amazon seller accounts since they do restrict you, so I couldn't get through those last couple steps with you, unfortunately, since I already have enough Amazon seller accounts. All right, so after completing the setup process for Seller Central, you should have your login credentials, and you can go back to sellercentral.amazon.com, and now you can sign in using that the Amazon account that you created. So once you log in, this is your main interface as of October 2024. Amazon does have a tendency to change this, and I'll do my best to always try to keep these videos updated in a course. But this is essentially what it's going to look like 9 times out of 10, let's just say. So what we have here is our navigation area, and that's going to be in the upper left-hand corner. So if you click this, this is your menu. This is where you find different features throughout Seller Central to add products, to manage your inventory, to go ahead and to ship inventory to Amazon using the FBA program. You can also check out all the orders that you have ongoing that Amazon's fulfilling on your behalf. And there's also an advertising area. Now, I will cover some of these the bottom half of these menu items in more depth later on once we actually begin to analyze our performance metrics and we can better understand what we need to do to continue to optimize and scale our business. But for now, I just want you to be familiar with this layout, and then as we progress throughout the roadmap and the 12 steps, we'll be taking a deeper dive into some of these different areas. At the top here, you have your store name that you created. This isn't your brand name. It doesn't have to be. Again, this is your store name. Make sure if you're in the US and you're selling in the US.com marketplace, always make sure that United States is selected. For example, if I click Mexico, this is all of the Mexican sales and orders that I have for this test account. So always make sure, if something doesn't look right, make sure you're on the United States, which is the primary marketplace we want to be focusing on. Now, some other things, once you begin selling, you'll see reviews pop up, your total balance, and sales already coming in. That's just a good way of understanding how your business and your products are performing over the last 30 days. One other thing to really pay particular attention to is the account health here. If you ever see this become red, then you should really click it and check out to see what's actually going on. Amazon uses this account health dashboard to let you know how your account is performing. If you have a lot of defects or you receive a lot of negative store feedback, Amazon may actually suspend some of your listings, or they may suspend your account. So it's very important to keep your health rating at a high level with Amazon. Otherwise, things could go a little bit haywire. The last thing I'll say on this is what you should really pay attention to, this health rating here. And what I mean by that is anything above 200 to 1,000, that's green, that's great. If you're between 100 and 199, your account is at risk, and you'll be notified, what is actually going on. And typically you can see that in the all issues here, or on the left side here if you're receiving a lot of negative feedback for your orders. And then lastly, if you're 0 to 99, that means you're unhealthy, and there's a good chance, again, that some of your listings could be suspended, or an overall your account. So you can always navigate back to the main interface by clicking the Amazon Seller Central logo. This takes you back to the home page. The last thing I want to mention here, if you look at this gear icon in the upper right-hand corner, we can see a lot of settings. So if you ever want to add someone to your account, you can go to user permissions, and you can add a separate email so somebody can log into your account and have limited access that you grant them. The other thing I want to point out is the account info. This is the bulk of your settings. So if you click this right now, more than likely it's going to say, verification pending, or maybe you still have to upload some verification document that's typically shown here. But if you have gone through the entire verification process and you're ready to sell, you'll see selling on Amazon. It'll say registered here, and you'll be good to go. And this area is also good if you ever need to change your payment information, your business information, bank account information, or even your store info. You can click all of these tabs to change all of that information right here. Okay, so that's our interface. We're logged in. Now it's time for the fun part, and that is to find a product. So let's go to the next module.